Hey everybody, welcome back to Adventures with Hoop and Zach.
I'm Hooper.
And I'm Zach, and today's our first ever episode of Getting Crafty, where we sample craft beers from all over the place.
Go! Yeah!
That's probably why it tasted so bad. It expired in 2015.
Ooh, I can definitely taste the coffee. So, the point of Getting Crafty is we're going to be sampling different beers from everywhere, wherever we happen to get different craft beers from. And we will give them our own rating, and then we will go back and we'll compare it against UNTAPPD, which is an app, huge beer app that you can pretty much find any kind of beer you're looking for on that app. That's how we're going to approach this.
That sounds good to me. So just to get it straight though, these are all craft beers.
Yeah, every single one of these is a craft beer. We happen to, as you can see right now, everything here is pretty much dark. The way we have everything ordered is, as you can see right here, is 1 through 4. And then the bottles correlate to the numbers. So 1, 2, 3, and 4.
Yeah. And another question. So craft beer, what is craft beer? For those that don't know, like, is this like your Budweiser, Bud Light?
No.
No. So this is so if I got this right, then this is beer that you pick out to enjoy and relax.
Yeah, this is not college beer. This is, I would recommend that if you're in college or wherever you may be in grade or whatever, if you're trying to have a good time, don't drink this stuff. Not because it's not good, it's because craft beer tends to be more pricey, and you definitely don't want to get into this when you're younger, otherwise it's going to spoil you. So, number 1, we've got what's called, the name of this beer is called Delilah, as you can see right there. It's a coffee-infused Belgian double. It's made by Barrel Monks Brewing. They're based out of Boca Raton, Florida, and this particular breed is beer, not beard. It's 7% ABV. So it'll be nice. It's a little bit lighter. It's not as dark as the other ones. It's going to be very kind of bubbly. But let's get to it.
Let's get to it. Ooh,
I can definitely taste the coffee.
Ooh.
Definitely coffee.
Yeah, that has like a, to me that has like a little bit coffee taste, but damn, is that smooth. If you're not used to drinking craft beers like me, I'm not, I was one of those regular beer drinkers. He's the craft beer guy, and this is a good beer to start on. It's smooth, it's light, it's not super heavy and thick. Smells delicious. Oh yeah, I can do that all day long.
There's definitely a little bit more of a carbonated feel to this. Cheap beer is going to have this kind of carbonated effect too, but this is much different. This is going to have, I think the term that they use is called full-bodied, but I don't really like using that because I don't really know how to use that correctly.
We ain't real beer tasters.
We're not super professional about this, so we just kind of know.
Let's just get that out in the air right now. You know, but we like good beer.
Yeah, and definitely the flavor on this is awesome.
I'll tell you what, if I could pick that over any of the other guys, the guys that you drink at parties, I would so much rather go. That's so much more enjoyable.
Oh yeah, and get you messed up a lot faster too.
Yeah, which isn't the point anymore. You know what I mean? Like yeah. the point is to enjoy a good beer, sit down, not get super out of it, and relax. All right.
So, on to beer number 2. Go ahead, grab it, and be careful there. Here we have an Imperial Stout by Old Schoolhouse Brewing. This is an Imperial Stout as the Brewer's Reserve. It's a specialty beer. This is not something you can find at your general store. This is specifically through a particular site that I use to buy craft beer. We'll talk about that another time maybe. They're based out of Winthrop, Washington. This particular one is 9.9% alcohol.
Wow.
So
that's pretty high for a beer.
Yeah.
Ooh, that is a dark beer.
That's a heavy beer. That's a real heavy beer. That's good though. It's.
Woo. You know what?
Let's see if I can give you a better look. No, that doesn't do it justice, but
it's so dark it looks like mud. Like it's thick, it's delicious. It's not as light as number one, but man, it's good though. Like this for a heavy beer. Surprisingly, this has a really good flavor.
Especially for being thick, dark, and delicious, right?
All right. That's pretty delicious, though.
So the first one, honestly, on a scale of 1 to 5, forgot to rate it, so let's go back and rate it real quick. So,
okay.
Number 1, what do you give it? You can take another sip?
There's nothing here to sip.
Oh.
No, but all seriousness, on a scale from 1 to 5, this first beer, which was called
Delilah.
And
don't worry, we will post all these beers in the comments, so that way if y'all want to try to look it up, you can.
I'd give it a really high 3, maybe even a mid 4. You know what? I'm going to give it a mid 4.
4.5?
4.5, yeah. Because it was honestly, if you're not into drinking beer, craft beers, it's a good beer to start off on.
I'm gonna give it about a 4.25. I'm used to using Untappd, so I know how the ratings are, as far as how they let you rate. So I'm gonna say 4.25 is what I'm thinking.
Sounds good.
Second one, I'm gonna give that one as an Imperial Stout, and that's the hard part. You got to realize when you're drinking these, is you can't go by what you like necessarily. You have to kind of go by, did they do a good job for what it is?
Yeah.
And that's really the tough part, because not everyone's going to like what you're drinking. So I'm going to say the second one, I'm going to say 3.75 on that. For Imperial Stout, I've had a lot better on Imperial Stout.
Yeah, I'm gonna give it a solid 3.5, for sure.
So, third beer. Here we go. We've got this is called Brother Thelonious. This is a 2019 edition. Just means that it got bottled this year. Could be any kind of variation that makes it 2019. It's a Belgian style Abbey Ale. It's from North Coast Brewing Company from Fort Bragg, California, and it's a 9.4 ABV. So,
what does ABV mean?
That's alcohol by volume. So that's just your alcohol percentage.
There you go. Okay. And here we go.
Ooh, that one's delicious.
This one, just by the look of it, as far as label goes, which is how I judge most of my beer because I don't know what I'm doing, it's a really beautiful bottle. The color of it's a nice golden brown kind of color. It's hard to see in the light.
So as he's drinking that, this particular brewing company is a really well-known company. You can usually find their beer pretty much anywhere. They make all sorts of one. It's really, really good.
Ooh.
Yeah.
That's a smooth beer.
Yeah, it's really good. I love Belgian doubles. Anything like this. Oh wait, Belgian double? No. It's an Abbey Ale. Yeah. Sorry. But they're always really good.
That smells delicious, and it's so smooth.
I'm gonna say 4 or 5 on that one.
You gonna say 4.5?
Yeah. I like that a lot.
I'll give it about a 4.
Okay, so to the last beer. This is actually a Texas beer from Conroe, Texas, called Black Crack by Southern Star Brewing Company. This one is a bourbon barrel aged hatchet stout. It's just an Imperial, I think it's a double Imperial stout or something like that. This one's sitting at 10% alcohol. So out of the 4 that we got here, this one's the highest. But, it's all pretty decently high. I mean, it's much higher than regular beer.
I mean, let's be real. I'm drinking one little glass and that much, and I can already feel it. You know what I mean? So, here we go.
So as he's tasting that, ooh, that's nice.
That's
So
dark
bourbon
beer.
barrel aged just means that they've taken the beer, they put it into a bourbon barrel, and they've given it a chance to absorb some of that flavor from the bourbon, and that's where you get that flavor off of the beer. And again, like I said, craft beer, that's why it's called craft beer. I mean, you're really getting crafty with it. You start doing all sorts of crazy things with beer that most people didn't do, as you can tell by his reaction. It's pretty tasty stuff.
It's it's delicious, but honestly, I would not be able to sit here and just like, you know how you go to a bar, you order a drink, and that's what you get.
This
You know
is
what I
definitely
mean?
a sipper.
This is honestly like you're drinking like liquor. It's
Like you're drinking bourbon.
yeah, like you have to. You literally sit there and sip on it. Like you cannot just like take little small chugs out of it. You know what I mean? Like big gulps. You can't do that with this thing. You have to sip it.
You're gonna feel sick if you try to chug this down.
Yeah, and that's why I was like, even the little amount that I took right there, that was too much. Like I felt that. I was like, whoa, that's I mean, it's delicious. They did a great job as far as flavor.
Oh, flavor's great.
But, I mean, it still does hinder the fact that I cannot sit there and drink this the entire time.
Remember, though, that's not why you're rating it.
No, it's not. But, dang. You know what I mean?
It's just the body or the flavor profile is so strong, and that's what's making you not be able to finish it. It's just, but the flavor itself, though, is amazing.
Yeah, like, honestly...
Hey, Southern Star, they did a great job. They really went out of their comfort zone with this. I mean, the only thing I ever knew Southern Star for was their bombshell beer. For years and years and years.
Oh, the Imperial bombshell?
The one with the chick, the
chick on the missile?
The pinup girl on the missile?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, that's a really light beer, too.
Yeah.
That's like the complete opposite of this.
That's why it's so different.
But
it's good though.
It's really tasty. It's really tasty. This second time I did take a little sip of it and not just an actual like gulp. Way better. Like it was
more of the flavor.
Yeah, a lot more flavor, smoother. This one honestly be a really good beer to pair with maybe a pretty decent cigar. For real,
it's good
because
steak.
it's that dark. A steak would go lovely with this.
Yeah,
for sure. Okay,
yeah. So this is definitely a craft beer. You want to enjoy the flavor. It's not just drinking to get drunk. It's drinking to enjoy the actual flavor of the beer. It's a very different environment. So again, I recommend anybody who's getting involved with this. One, make sure you're not on a budget. Two. Don't spoil yourself with this stuff because, again, once you get into this, it's very hard to go back to the cheap stuff.
I would say also, if you are going to go down this route and say, you know what, I'm tired of drinking, peasant-style beer. Like, I want the good stuff. I want to have a decent beer and relax. Make sure you do it responsibly because this is saying a very big glass. I hardly drank any. Like, the amount of drink is nothing, really.
But it's way more alcohol.
And I can honestly feel it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
the one right there is double. It's 2 beers. I mean, that's 2...
I can honestly feel it. So just make sure you know, if you go with somebody or if you go alone, make sure you, before you take off, drink some water, and get sober because these really have a lot of alcohol, and you just want to be careful. But it's really good. All these tonight were absolutely awesome.
Now, before we hop into the ratings that Untappd gave these particular beers, one thing while we were sitting here is some beers, especially with craft beers, as time progresses, or as you have the bottle out or the beer out, it's actually supposed to be drank as it gets warmer, not necessarily when it's cold. You know,
and you know what? Like honestly, I definitely agree with that because as you can see, these are gone, and you know what? They really did start tasting smoother. More flavors started coming out through the beer, and they just became overall more delicious.
Yeah. Now, again, that doesn't apply to all craft beer. That only applies mainly to dark beers like the stouts and things like that. It doesn't apply to lighter beer. Particularly like this first one, it's really not meant to get super warm. You know, but the stouts for sure. I mean, those you can get, like those get room temperature almost, and makes them super smooth, super easy to drink.
And that's because I'm from South Texas. It gets hot. I don't like a hot drink, but it started honestly tasting really delicious.
Yeah, and look up the different styles. Because different styles have different temperatures that they recommend to drink it at. So now let's jump into the ratings that UNTAPPD happened to give these particular beers. So the first one was Delilah, and I gave it a 4.25.
I gave it a 4.5.
You gave it a 4.5, and UNTAPPD rates it overall average of 3.65. So we're actually a little bit high.
Oh, that's not bad.
No, not too bad. So we were a little bit above average, but that's okay. Now, for this one, the Imperial Stout Brewers Reserve by Old Schoolhouse Brewery, I gave it a 3.75.
I gave it a 3.5.
And UNTAPPD has an average of 3.93.
Oh, so we're almost right there.
Yeah, so I was pretty close. Again, UNTAPPD doesn't give you an option to get much closer. It gives it in quarters. So you either got to go half, 75, 25, or right on the money. So
yeah, and you know, I'm not a actual Raider guy, so.
So, third is Brother Thelonious 2019, North Coast Brewing Company. I gave it a 4.5.
I gave it a straight 4.
He gave it a straight 4. UNTAPPD gave it a 3.99.
Oh,
yeah.
dang!
You were like right.
I was right on the money almost. Yeah. Almost, but
that's pretty much. I mean,
that's as close as you can get.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that doesn't surprise me. It was a really good beer, and it you know, it did the job.
Yeah. So, Black Crack by Southern Star Brewing Company. I gave it a 3.75.
I gave it a straight 3.
The average on UNTAPPD is a 4.01.
Wow, I was pretty off on that one.
Yeah.
But
again, as he kept letting it warm up a little bit,
it honestly got better as it warmed up. And look, I don't ever really drink beers like this. I drink them because he drinks them. And honestly, so I'm more or less rating on drinkability rather than
what it's supposed to taste like.
What it's supposed to taste like, the flavors coming through it, the vibrantness of the beer, and stuff like that. And I'm trying to be fair, but you know, I'm still in that, like, if I can't honestly sit down and drink it,
you still got a little bit of that bias because you're not really...
Yeah, exactly. And because I like what I like, and I'm trying to be fair, but I can honestly say that the more this warmed up, it honestly got a lot better, and I would have probably gave it a higher rating.
Yeah. So, anyways, guys, we appreciate y'all watching this. If y'all want to see more videos like this, just let us know. We'll keep putting out videos like this if we can. I think we're going to be... This was really fun. I enjoyed this a lot.
I enjoyed it a lot.
So, again, like, comment, subscribe.
Hit the little bell.
And let us know. If you like this, we'll definitely keep cranking these ones out.
If there's any beers that we haven't said yet and it's your favorite beer or something, let us know. We'll get it in, we'll order it, and we'll give you our review on it.
Just make sure it's craft beer, because we don't drink piss water.
Damn. Alright.
Thanks, guys.
Appreciate it. Catch you next time.